Good afternoon and welcome everybody to TCCA 2020 Focus. I am Eric Levels and I am your host. I'm really excited because in this look, I've already been able to listen to Mr. Rule. I learned so much and so I'm really excited about this next session. So let me introduce him. Eric Rule has taught music on every level, elementary through college, for over 30 years. He has given professional development sessions on technology for several districts throughout the Houston area and presented several clinics at the Texas Music Educators Association conventions. That's TMEA, by the way. And he's given TIME, Technology and Music Education Clinics in Texas and Ohio. Now, based on our session today, if you have any questions or comments, just post them into the chat box. My co-host, Tashika McKinney, wave your hand there, man. Yeah, there we go. She'll be monitoring the chat and she'll be providing those for discussion at periodic points of our session today. So, without further ado, please join me in digitally turning our focus to Eric Rule as he shares band in a box, lesson in a box. Take it away, Mr. Rule.
All righty, guys. So, welcome. I'm very excited about this session. I've never presented this session like this before, so I may ramble a bit, but I ramble anyway. What you see on the screen right now is the QR code. If you don't have a QR code reader, here's the address where you can go and get the handouts. And in fact, this this page will have the handouts for all three sessions that I'm giving. So if you've already got this, you don't need to worry about it. It's there. You can click on it and do it. Band in the box, man, I've been using this for years. It is one of the most amazing technology that I've seen going through. I used to I was a professional musician. That's where I made my living, by teaching privately and at colleges and universities, and also performing. And I was using Band in the Box with my private students. And it's a very versatile thing in going through it. In fact, I upgraded to 2007, and I was using 2007 for years and years. In fact, it wasn't until this past December that I went and upgraded to the 2020 version, and they have expanded it and made it even more awesome. This is one of my favorite programs to use. Now, most people that even know about this program is that they think of it as a tool for jazz improvisation. It is so much more than that. And that's why I'm so excited to be teaching this particular one. I've been wanting to do it for years. I don't know why I haven't done it before, but this is one of the most amazing programs to go through. Now, what I'm going to do, you got that. Here's the handout that you can go through and get. Let me just run through this quickly. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to present a little overview of it, and then we'll dive into what we can do within it, okay? If you have questions, a specific question at the time, put it in the box and they'll let me know, because sometimes I can go on. And I'm used to giving presentations that are like an hour long, and I want to make sure that I give enough time, so I'm going to try to squinch this down. So questions, put them in the box, and if it's something that you're confused about right then, let them know and we can get that taken care of. Okay, so Band in the Box, music accompany software. Man, you can do so many things with it. Even what I'm going to give you, as much as I'm going to give you, doesn't even encompass a tenth of what this program can do. So I've just given you the easiest thing that you can do right out of the box without even going through. There are so many things. Simple, you just type in chords. You don't even have to know what kind of chord it is. If you want a C chord, yeah, type a C. If you want an F chord, yeah, type an F. It's just that simple. There are so many styles within that. You have to excuse my coughing. Sinuses are really bad for me today. I do not know why. You can change the key. You can change the tempo, which will become important later. If you want it, you can have it as long as you need it. If you need something that's real short, you need something that's really long, it'll do it, whatever you want. There are a variety of ways that you can save it or export it within that, which will help out. And then the styles that they use, they are constantly making more and more style packs within that. And it's just absolutely amazing, as we'll see, the things that you can do with it. In fact, this 2020 version, I can't wait for all our kids to come back into the class. Right now, I'm on a cart and I'm going from classroom to classroom, but I can't wait till they come back into my classroom and things are kind of normal, so I can use some of these features because of these new styles. That's just totally phenomenal. Okay, so there's just a general picture of what it looks like of going through. As you can see, the chord changes, things like that. You've got the title of what you give it the title of. You've got the style there. the key, the tempo, how long your song is, how many repetitions you make. I know I'm covering them up, but you'll get a chance to see that. We'll get to see it more within it. Um, these are some of the things that we'll talk about, the flexibility within it that I use it in my classroom. And again, I keep it simple. I'm not making it complex. You can make it a lot more involved. I use it for counting rhythms. Right now, I'm only EC, which is kindergarten, pre-K and preschool. But when I was doing, I used to do full elementary, which was pre-K all the way through fifth. Man, I was using that with all my classes, and they all loved it. Right now, I'm going to only be using it with the kindergartners for what it is because we'll be counting rhythms. But man, it makes it so much more fun for the kids to use it when we're counting rhythms, basic rhythms, things like this. Form, man, it makes it easier for them to learn form because then you can combine it with movement. When I'm teaching form with this, we're not standing still, we're moving around the room. It's a lot of fun within that. So then it gets them also listening because then they can make it easy to hear form, but they're having to listen to do it. Because sometimes when we play music, it's just music to them, songs, regular songs. They can't tell that things change. They just know the words change a little. It sounds a little bit different, but they really can't tell. But when you strip it down to just the harmony and then they hear that chord change, man, that makes it a lot easier for them to do. Tempo, that sort of comes in with the counting rhythms and the movement. You can change the tempo on the fly. Certain styles have a range that they sound good in, and then they'll show you that. So if you're looking for something that's super fast, you can search by that particular tempo. If you want for something that's a little suited for a slower tempo, you can do that. Singing games, man, this is fun, and I'll show you one of my favorite games we go through and do. I use it for second and third, and even fourth graders like doing it coming back because I make a little contest out of these things. When I was doing recorders, super fun because then when I play, you play when we're learning notes. You're learning the G and you go G, and they play it back, and you're going G G G, and they say G, and they do it back to you. Put a background behind you. And there you go. It makes it so much more exciting for them because they can hear it as part of music. It sounds like they're making music. And the beauty about this, as opposed to putting on a little MP3, is you can make this as long as you want, and it'll just keep going and keep going until you just decide to hit the stop button. Okay, so that makes the beauty of this is not okay. The song ends. Wait a minute, let me go redo the song or have it loop and have the introduction. No, you can make it long and short as you want. Custom accompaniments. One year we were going to put on a Christmas program, and I decided I wanted to do more traditional songs because out there's a lot of the neat songs out there. Excuse me. I want to be an elf and hip hop reindeer and all that. There's some great songs that have come out, but I wanted to do more traditional songs, and I couldn't find any arrangements that I liked. So I typed in the chord changes, which are easily found in the books, or you can find them online, type them up for a chord sheet, and I put it in, and boom, I made traditional songs for programming. I just saved them as an MP3, and boom, there it was. Changing the balance of instruments, that's going to go through. Let's say you just want to hear the bass line. You could do the bass. You just want to hear the drums and things like that. That becomes important later on when we start talking about ORF instruments. Because then if you want to take out the rhythm section and just have the bass and the keyboards and things like that while they're playing the bardoons or things like that, you can do that. Or you can take out the bass line and just let them play the bardoon while they have the percussion section playing within that. And the other neat thing that makes this so much different sometimes than you get of MP3s is they started using real instruments, which is cool. It's not just these MIDI sounds. And unfortunately, I have some stuff that I use that I love with the kids, but they're cheesy MIDI sounds. These recordings that they made were cheesy MIDI sounds. And oh man, that's one thing that I'm very much a stickler for is I want the kids to hear real instruments as much as possible. So when I hear even good MIDI sounds that still aren't quite, how I hear the clarinet and you can tell it's on a keyboard, that, as the musician in me, just it grates on my nerves a little. I want them to hear real instruments as much as possible because the more they hear the real instruments, the more likely they are to be able to enjoy band later on or orchestra or things like that, or just enjoy going out and hearing live music because then the instruments themselves sound like what they're used to hearing as opposed to just the MIDI stuff. So that's important to me. Is for them to hear this, so they have a lot of real instruments in there. within that they use. Counting rhythms. Okay, I use it. Students learn how to steady beat, fun way, style, strong beat. When I do it, I generally have put it in the 80 to 90 tempo wise to keep them. That's easy. You can speed it up. You can do through. The accompaniment, I generally either have straight eighths or sixteenths. Um, Later in the springtime, when I was doing like the third, fourth, and fifth graders, we were learning jazz. I have swing in there, and we learned to scat and all that. There's a neat book called Jazz Flying Kitten or Flying Kitten Jazz, something like that by Sherry Lachetti. Great book, and it has some scatting and stuff like that, and that's where I got the idea. So you put that on there, you can scat and have fun with the sing eighth notes. They become more comfortable with syncopation, when you change the style to funk and things like that. And then you can actually have them hear the difference between the time signature, between a 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, 6/8, and 12/8, because sometimes they have troubles hearing the difference between a 12/8 and a 4/4. But within that, if you put like a blues shuffle on there, which will be actually 12/8, they can start hearing within that. And because you're using this program, there is no melody, there is no singing. So that forces them to attune their listening to the background, this is what it creates. And that's where, I hate to say it, that's where the important stuff happens, where the form is delineated in the background with the chords and the drums and all that. People focus so much on the melody, and not even the melody, they focus so much on the words that they have no idea what the form is. They're just singing words. Take that all away, and it helps them to actually focus in on actual listening. Form for lower grades, simple patterns of A and B, and I'll show you how we go through and do that. March into the beat, change direction with the chords. So we have, the A section will go one way, B section will go the opposite way, and things like that. You can have to do different sections, vary the style and the tempo with it. They have fun with it. It's a lot of good things. Students, you can have them, is it A, B? Is it A, B, or C? Type in a blues progression, things like that. You can do movement again, do movements for different sections. You can have them wave in the air for the A section and put their hands on the knees on the B section like that. If you get really verse at it, the program, is that you can change the style in a minute. And that's one thing. Did I put that in here? I don't think I did. Where is it? I'm sorry for going through. No, I guess not. The other thing about this program, I'm sorry for skipping this, jumping back up here. I don't know why I didn't make it in here, is that there is so much support for this program. Not only does the company PG Music make videos on how to use this program, there are others that have gone through and make how-to videos to do it. There are forums. PG Music has their own forum for this program. You have a question, there's people to help you. There's other forums, outside forums that are not associated with the company on this program. So if you have a question, man, somebody's out there, they've solved it, and they can help you with it. The support that goes through within this for this program is just absolutely amazing. Like none other program I've seen that goes on. For those of you that are a little more advanced also within this, what's been new within the past couple of years, you can export this stuff, and it integrates in as a VST to Logic, Pro Tools, and Ableton Live, which makes it a lot of fun. That was kind of cool when I learned they started doing that. Form, upper grades, singing games. One thing I do is I have the thing in for Miss Mary Mac, and we'll go through and do that, and we'll do the movies. Miss Mary Mac, Mac. Even though you can't see me, probably, I don't know. But so we do the movements, we teach them that. Then I put this on, and they have to do it with the song. Okay, cool. Then we start speeding it up, and I start seeing what group, what partners can last the longest and get it right as I start speeding up that tempo. And man, they have fun as it starts getting fast, and it becomes hilarious and just a giant mess. All right. Yes.
Hey, quick question.
Sure.
What was the name of that author again? Was it Cherry?
Cherry. What author?
If you scroll back towards the top, there was an author that you mentioned there.
Tell me when I get there. You see it?
I don't. It's okay. I'll just keep checking the chat box, and then once I clarify what it is, I'll just pop back in.
I don't remember mentioning the author. Maybe I did. I don't know.
Okay.
Not enough chocolate, I guess. So we go through and do that. Have styles. You can take a song and have them sing. You know, let's say we're doing hot cross buns. By the way, in case you two guys, my two moderators, in case you didn't know that boom whacker song, I noticed that nobody had a guess. That was hot cross buns with my boom whacker song there. Um, have it put it in there with different type of things. Have them do it as a hip hop, you know, or have them do it as an Irish jig or an Alberti bass. How does the song feel? Is it easier to sing this one or is it harder to sing this one? So there's ways you can start doing it, and you can start having that analytical discussions with your upper grades within that. Because that for Texas, that we have these things called TEKS, which are Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills, similar to the national standards, is that that the upper grades, third, fourth, and fifth, that they start being able to analyze and discuss uh, what they're hearing. And this is a great way to discuss that by having the same song in different styles, changing the style, and start asking those questions about it. What do you hear in this style? How do you do it? And it makes it really easy, even if you're doing the same song. We talked about recorders, responsorial, going through, doing within that. You can make little things for them to practice at home. I've even created in the past, I've created songs using this, and I had simple fingers for the fingerings we were using. I like starting with like a so me, so GE, and then I create songs just using those, and then I add the A for the so me la. And I can go through and create little songs that the kids can then practice at home, and you can convert it into an MP3 and send it home for them. In fact, this year I was having my kids practice doing a rhythm thing that we actually on the last seminar, those colored rhythm things that they were doing. I made 3 different tracks for them to practice clapping the rhythms with in different styles at the same speed. It was a lot of fun that they get to do it. And then, like I said, the accompaniments that go along with it. There's the accompaniment, there's the style sheet and things like that, just all that. So that's the basic information on that. Now let's go into the fun. Let's dive into this. This is I'm so excited. So here it is. Band in the box. Okay. You have your play, pause, stop, title of the song. I can tell it what I want. This is what repetition I'm on. Okay. What repetition I'm on. I can change it, change it. Let's say I'm going to make it 12 bars, 12-bar song. So there we go. So now it's only 12 bars long. And I want it to repeat 3 times. Or let me go back to, let's say 48. And it'll repeat 3 times. And if I'm on the second repetition, it'll tell me this is number 2 of the 3. It tells me what 4/4 is, what the key, what tempo it is, and what style. So let's say we're doing a little rhythm thing. All right, let me jump this down. I said about 80. So let me pop this down to about 80. This should work, I hope. Let's say 90. Okay, so we got a little thing. Now it's when you hear this little sustain thing going on, it's been doing that recently. I don't know why. I'm about to go into the forums after we get done with everything here, and I'll find out why. It normally doesn't happen. It just has, here's the clicks going on within that. So here we go. And then the thing starts. So then you can go ka, 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 ka. And actually, that's not going to work. Why? Because I have what? Swing 8s. Oh, Mr. Ruyle. So I want to change the style. Here's where it becomes fun. Okay. So here's the master one. I can go all the categories. Here's some of the categories within this. As you can see, it's all sorts of ones. For example, Latin, I have 737 different Latin ones. Country classic, there are 1,000 different styles within that. The world music within that. Let me go under the pop. Let's pull that up. Let's do everything pop. Let's do some R&B. Got 600 styles. So there we go. So it tells me that I'm using real instruments here. It tells me the time signature. These are even 16ths. Here's the tempos that it sounds good at. Now, do you have to stay at 90? No, you can go a little faster, a little slower, but this won't sound good at 190. That's what gives you through. It gives you the genre, gives you a little idea of what kind it is, gives you other genres, the kind of genres that match within it, and going through the set date that it was done. I mean, the date that it was created, the set and all that. So there's all that. So I can go through, I'm going to scroll through and I can do this. Let's see. But actually, I have an idea what I want. I think there's one that's called Otis. Find that one. Otis somewhere. There was an Otis Redding one, something. I can't remember. Dash Otis, I think. I don't know. Let's find something. This is the hard part. This is the part that I'm going to be rambling because finding uh, styles on this. I've been trying to find the correct styles, and it just drives me nuts when to do it. Let's see. What do I have? A list of styles here that I like. Oh, let's go back to Jocon. Let's do that. Let me go into filter by all categories. Enter. I'm in the wrong place. That's why. No. And 2 items. What the heck? Oh, the other nice thing about this is you can do a preview of what it sounds like. They got little demo songs we have. And now if you wanted to actually play that demo song and use that demo song, you could. You know, you just add it into there. All right. But I'm going to use this. I'm going to use that. So change the style. I'm in the key of C. I'm at 90. So we're going to go through and clap the rhythms, you know. Generate. Again, I don't know why it's having that long sound. Ka, 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 ti, ka. Ka, 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 ti, ka. So that's what I do with rhythms. And what I do is I put the rhythm up on the board, and I'll show you how to in my next seminar of how to going through and doing that within that. So I put the rhythms up there. We go through and we go through and clap and count, and I can just have it going on as long as I want, okay? Then let's do some styles. Let's do some form. Let's say I'm going to change the F, we'll change the G, and we'll just do it as a 12 bars, all right? Let's find another style. What style do we want? Eric, give me a style. You there?
Yeah. I want country.
You want country. All right.
Let's go.
Let's do some classic or contemporary.
Let's do classic.
Oh, wow. They even have spaghetti western, man. I don't know all the things on here. I mean, I've got thousands of them. What'd you say?
Classic. Let's go
Classic. All right. Let's do classic. Okay. So here's the names. Here's a little thing of what's going on through it. Let's pick a boom chick Joe Train guitars. And I have a feeling he may have, and it gives you a little description of down here of examples of songs that are similar to it. Got my mojo working, poor Tom, going through. So that gives you an idea of what kind of feel the song is. There is going to be electric guitar solo in here. That's all right. Okay, let's use this. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to do it with me. Put your hands on your head for the A section. Put your hands on your stomach for the B section. Put your hands on your knees for the C section. So this would just be A, B, C song. And how are you going to tell each section? The chord's going to change. Take a second. It's building. So put your hands on your head, or you could be walking to the beat now. You're marching to the beat, going through, going one direction. Different chord now. So that's a different form. We're in different sections. Now you're going the opposite direction if you're marching. Or you got your hands on your stomach. So there we go. Or if we wanted to change to an ABA. Whoops. Just hit A, and there it is. Not A, shoot, Mr. Ruyle. C. So there it is. Now, if I put this, things like that, it will give me a little fill leading into like a section thing. So let's try it now. We got that. So this is ABA. So you got your A section, march into the beat or something like that. The kids are grooving. Yeah. Easily here. It's changed. So now we're on a different section. So this would be the B section. So you go through and do that. Yeah, and that will recreate the whole thing. Regenerates, because there was a little thing it wasn't quite doing it. All right, so is it Takesha? I know I butchered your name. I'm sorry. Give me another style. Is she there? She disappeared?
Do you have some jazz?
Yeah, do I have jazz? Yes, I can. Do I have jazz? You are funny. All right, let's see. Let's do the everything jazz, which is almost 2,000 different ones. Yes, there is tons of jazz here. So then we got straight 16ths for like the going through. Let's scroll on down. Oh, because I limited to Joe. Let's get out that. We got the jazz. All right, here we go. Now we got the 16,000 things. Smooth jazz. We got the fusion, and I'm looking over here to see the different types. Smooth jazz. Let's do a jazz funk grooving type thing. It's 110. Even 16. That's the promo. All right. So I'm going to do that, and let's change this to an ABACA form. So I'm going to need a little bit bigger. Let me just do, let's say, 32 length here.
Hey, and Eric, we're gonna have to change our audio too, so that they can hear the music like we did
They're
before.
not hearing the music?
Yeah, it was faint at first, but now we don't hear it. So yeah, we're gonna have to change your settings to what we did before.
Man, that's just not cool. All right, let me see if I can find it. Let's see. Let me change my settings. That is just not cool. Now we have to remember what I put it on.
All right, we can't hear you now, but we probably will be able to hear the music. So I hear the music, but not you. So now we need to hear you again. So you'll have to change your setting back so that we can hear you.
You hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
All right. I don't know what happened last time. I thought this setting worked, but apparently not. Anyway, so that was an ABA type section. Now, let me show you some of the other things that I've done. Where is it? Let me pull up some of the songs I've done. For example, let me show you Miss Mary Mack that I did and show you how I go through and do it. So there's Miss Mary Mack. I have it 32 bars long. I have a repeat 4 times. There's the Otis rating. That's why I couldn't find it. Otis. So we go through and we start out. Let's start out kind of a simple tempo. All right. And let me know, Eric, if you can hear it. So you got there?
No, not hearing it.
Oh, man. It's not going to be my friend today, is it?
No, it has an attitude.
It has an attitude. How about that? Oh, wait a minute.
Yes, sir. We can hear it. can hear the music, just not you.
So sorry. How about this? Can you hear me both now? No?
I can hear you, but not the music.
Wow, fun. How about this one? Can you hear me in the music?
No. Just you.
Music? Music and me?
Just you. Faintly the music, but just you, really. Yeah, that's the music.
How about now? Can you hear me in the music?
We can hear just you.
Guys, I am
And
so sorry with this. This is going crazy. So, this is what I was afraid of. I'm going through. All right. So, let me try one other thing. I know this is a pain in the butt for you guys. It's not fun for me either. But notice how, if you haven't noticed, this entire time that we've been talking, this has been playing. And actually, we're on second time through of this. So we have Miss Mary Mac happening, and you can sort of follow along. Miss Mary Mac, 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 all dressed in black, 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 with silver buttons. And you're doing movements. Then you can do this, all dressed in black, black. She asked her mother, 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 for 50 cents, cents to see the cows, cows, cows. And you can see where that would be a lot of fun when you're going through and doing the movements within that. Let me get rid of that. Oh, man, this is going to drive me nuts. I am so sorry. Can you hear me? Eric, you there?
yep, we can hear you.
All right, let's see. Okay. Man, this is a drag that this is happening. I am so sorry, guys. Let's see. Let me see if I do this. Let me stop sharing and let me go back to just the tab. Let me see if that'll work. So let's share application window. It's not showing. It's not giving me an option on here. All right. Dude, that is just not mine. Anyway, so as we go through, is you can see that uh, you can see, but you can't hear. I'm sorry, and then I'll put it again to where you can hear. Is that you can do different songs within this and have a lot of fun within that, different styles. Uh, Here's some of the other songs that I've done. There's just like for a recorder. We were learning G and E. I had it set up and they're just going through, have it 32 bars long, have it repeat 13 times, at speed of 80. So I can do whole notes, I can do half notes, I can do quarter notes, and I would play it and they would play it. Let me see if I can get it to where you can hear this at least, even though you're not going to hear me. Because who really wants to hear me anyway? All about the music. So let me get my settings again. This is so much fun. Yay. Let's see.
And we don't hear the music as of yet.
How about now? No?
Go to your microphone and go to stereo mix. There you go.
Can you hear it now?
Yeah, we did hear it. But not anymore.
Let's see.
We hear it again. No, sir.
can hear me now, though, right?
Yes, sir. We can hear you now.
Guys, I am so sorry about this, but let me go through and let me just show you some of this stuff again. So this was what I used for Miss Mary Mac. I speed it up. You go through the amount of styles that you can do. It is absolutely amazing with the bluegrass, the world music. Here are some of them within this. The jigs, the reels, all sorts of things. So the different styles, the different within this. So we had the recorders, the singing games, the form. Um, I can't think of what else. Is there anything else I didn't cover? Let's see real quick that I want to make sure I cover. Do we have any questions other than why can't I get my act together? Questions?
No questions as of yet.
No questions. Man, these guys are not helping me out here. All right. So I know while this presentation isn't as going as well as it should, this program is an awesome program. I mean, you can go through in a minute. What I'm going to do, since we're not able to hear the both, is I'm going to go through and I'm just going to give examples of different styles. I'm going to type in a simple chord progression, and we're just going to give you some of the styles you can go through and do. Remember, you can use it with singing games. With that, you can have it speed up, you can have it slow down. I've used this with BB Bumblebee. That was the thing we did, and we kind of passed things back and forth. And so we passed things back and forth as we were doing it, and then I had that helps them keep them on the beat within that, and they had a lot of fun. The counting rhythms, I use that a lot. I mean, with them within the, especially the upper grades, and then you get going through and you add into the funk that gets kind of syncopated and things like that to have fun. Great Big House. I think I do. I have that. I hope I do. Let's see. Yes, I do. I'll play Great Big House in a second and get to put it in like a New Orleans style. Man, that makes the song so much fun to do that and then put it into other styles. So this is a great program, sucky presentation, but a great program of going through, of creating accompaniments, of doing, working with recorders, of things that you need. Um, it's an amazing program. I really can't say enough about it. Like I said, I use it for so many things. It's roughly $150 to start out with, I believe, and you can get all sorts of packages. You can get, the more you spend, so to speak, the package deals, you get bigger and bigger and more stuff. But for the longest time, I just started out with the basic package, and you still get, thousands of styles within that as part of the basic package. And you go through, and again, it's as simple as if you want chords, you just type in a C, an F. If you want, a chord in the other thing, click there. I change it to an F. If I want an F7, there you go. So there's a dominant. It's just as simple as that. I mean, you can do a lot more with it, but that's as simple as you can get. And now if I click this, why has that not been, let's see. There we go. So then there's the mixer. So you can turn down the bass if you wanted to do like your bardoons and you have sit there and play, and you can have it your bass xylophone playing along, and they can sit there bardoon and you can have your songs playing. I'll do that in a second. Show you how you can do that. So you can have the rhythm section without the bass play. You can do that. They can set the bardoon so you can have your instruments play along with it. It's a great way if you want them to have practice your xylophones. If they're practicing a particular sequence of things, of crossovers, then you can do it. You can slow it down. You can speed it up within that. You can actually print the music within that. They're talking about there's all sorts of stuff that I didn't even get into. There's a chord sheet because it'll go through notation. It'll actually show you the notation of what the people are playing when you actually go through. There's the jazz guitar. I can change it to, let's see what the piano would be playing. It's not showing me piano right now, but it will once I generate the music. So you can go through and do all sorts of things way beyond just the simple thing of what we're doing. Then I can save it as a wave. I can also save it, export it as a MP3, an M4A. So that's what I did. Like I said, is I went through and I exported. I created a simple couple of things for the kids practicing the rhythms that I had them do, and then with the body rhythms, I did them in a couple of different styles. I exported it as an MP3. I put it up into Schoology, which we were using, and they had fun. Now I know how this works. Is some of the kids like it because I have one of the counselors on my campus is she comes Tuesday, Thursday, because she has a couple of campuses, and she goes through there. And let me just stop sharing this for a second. Um,
10 minutes remaining.
Thank you. Um, let me get to this. Man, I'm just not doing. Let me stop sharing. Whoops. So, um, this counselor, she comes through within us, and so she tells me how her kid's doing, because she has her kid on her campus, and uh, so I can tell how the kids are going within it just by how the mom comes back. Because after I did the week where we were doing the rhythms and I had the different sounds, MP3s within that, man, she was just coming back and how they had fun for like 20 minutes just doing that stuff with just three different styles at the same tempo of doing those things of going along. It's a lot of fun within that to save it. A lot of fun. So let me go through. I know we got 10 minutes. We have questions? Yes? Give me some questions. Help me out here.
All right. So they want to know where can they get this resource, and then how much does it cost?
Okay, it costs about 150 bucks. Okay, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
And um, you can either buy it from PG Music, and that's spelled right, PG Music. You can also buy it from Sweetwater. You can buy it from just about any of your normal supply place. Generally think like Woodwind, Brasswind, Sweetwater, Guitar Center, Sam Ash. They all carry that within that. In fact, I just bought it from Sweetwater for our campus. I've actually bought one from campus because I've used my own copy for years, and I chose the download option. So I'm going to download it onto it and put it onto a flash drive. They have an option where you can get the CDs, DVDs within that that'll go through. You could do that, but who has a DVD player or CD player anyway? So, or you can buy. Some of them have the option that they'll actually have it installed on a flash drive for you. So then you can just buy it that way, and it'll come that way. And the bigger styles, they'll have the bigger flash drives within that. But I bought it because I'm gonna put it on. I bought also a SSD flash drive, and I'm gonna put it on that so it stays all that. It will run from a flash drive. In fact, there it is. I'm running on that. So you don't have to have it plugged into your uh, downloaded onto your school computer, because I know that can sometimes be a hassle. Hopefully none Aldine people here are paying attention to me that can get me into trouble. But I've used this at school as it's running off my flash drive, so that way it's not actually loaded onto the school computer, because you know how they don't like to do that. It's a big hassle. So you can just put it on a flash drive, and there you go. It's simple as that. You run it through. And there you go. So it starts at about 150 roughly. But then, like I said, the more packs you buy, you can go through. Once you buy the basic pack, if later years you want a basic package, if later years you want to buy particular package, you can buy those separately too. So you don't have to get everything. Okay. Other questions? What do we got?
That was the main one there. They're just really curious to know where they can get that resource. They're loving it.
Yeah, it's a fabulous resource, and I wish you guys can hear me and do it, because, like I said, we've got the movements of Miss Mary Mac. Miss Mary, Miss Mary Mac, Mac, Mac. And then you speed that up, and the kids just have a blast and going through recorders. Man, my kids, wow, that was so digging it, because then they're making music as opposed to when you just go through and you know, I'm gonna kill your ears. But how much fun is that's not much, but you put that backing track onto it, you get a nice funk going, they're grooving along and all that. Man, all of a sudden that whole note G becomes the most magical thing in the world that you've ever seen. And then you can speed it up and go and slow it down however you want it and change it up. And I've gone through and made little class recordings of that. As we were working on something, and I can go through, it'll have an intro like you hear when you have the number of courses you're done. It'll have a little exit thing, a little coda that'll automatically put on. So it'll put a nice little ending to it. So you can go through, you don't have to worry about that. So add that to the song. So I had them practice like, quarter notes one year. We were just doing quarter notes, and I just had to kept waffling back between like a C and a G, and we were just doing E and G, I think it was, on quarter notes. I recorded that in the class, and I posted it up on our Google Sites website for our music class, and parents were digging it because that way the kids get to say, "Hey, mom, look, there's me playing recorder," even though there's 25 other in there. But there was a chance that the kids get to see and hear their music, that they were actually making a song because it sounded like a song, even though we were just practicing our back and forth. Is that a question?
So I have a question for you.
Sure.
How do other music educators get in touch with you if they wanted to continue this conversation?
Awesome. Let me put that back up. I don't have it on this one. Man, I don't know why. You can contact me. Let me just type it in here real quick. I don't know why I don't have it. I apologize, people. There it is. EJ Rules with an S at Gmail on that. Also, you'll notice that if you're not sure how to spell my name, if you go to the handout, if you have that handout, it's right there. The other ones, that's my website. It's also .com. You can use that and get in touch with me. I like to use that one because that one's hooked up to my phone. It makes it so much easier to contact me. I'd love to help you out with it. In fact, I submitted 2 proposals to TMEA this year for their virtual one doing specifically for uh, elementary music and one for secondary music, because there's so many things you can do with on secondary music that people just don't even realize. The other thing about this package is you can record melodies and put it on top of it. It will make recordings and you can mix it together and all that. So any other questions within this?
Well, no. So thank you so much for your time. So
Guys,
actually,
I am so sorry with all the problems within this. I figured that was going to be a problem. It always is a problem of getting the sounds. Maybe next time if we do this, I'll maybe just have it playing on a separate computer or something like that. And that way you can just hear it out, because it's the absolute amazing of going through it. In fact, go online to YouTube and watch some people work with it. There's so much that you can have it just put rests in there, breaks, you can have it anticipate. It's an amazing program. We only did maybe 5% of what you do. So I highly recommend it.
well, well, we do look forward to the next time. Thank you so much, Mr. Rule. So this concludes this session. So we have another session starting in this next hour. So make sure that you're checking out the schedule for the amazing sessions that you have the opportunity to choose from. And so you'll be receiving a certificate via email at the end of this session. And so you'll need the password to open that certificate and print it. And so the password to the session is, drum roll, it's coming up right now. So session 7, the certificate password is empower. Empower. It is case sensitive, so that's capital E, lowercase MPOWER. Again, so much gratitude to you, Mr. Rule. It wasn't as bad as you thought. It was just fine,
Oh,
and you handled it like a champ. So I appreciate you.
well, you just got to hear it and to play with it, and me talking over, especially when we're doing the singing games.
So you did a great job, and thank you for what you do for our students, and thank you for the education that you provide daily, and for the fact that you took your Saturday to teach us something. So we appreciate you, and thank you for all of your hard work, and thank you for sharing with us today. And
All right.
Tashika, as always, thank you for being an awesome co-host. And thank you guys for tuning into this live broadcast. And thank you for supporting TCCA, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to support you guys. All right. Take care, guys. Thank you.